welcome back, guys. I'm back with another video, and if you guys can tell, I'm not really in a mood. I'm a bit. I don't want to add background. But back to what I was saying. I'm a bit not feeling so well. My legs are a little tired. So I'm just staying in. I might do a little drive later, but that's probably might just be it. But y'all wanted this video, so here it goes. Now, the time I'm recording this video, it is 3:25 on Monday. Now, I know in like Philly it's like 5:25, like stuff on the eastern side, but for me it's 3:25. So, I might get out this video on Wednesday. I think I might get this video on Wednesday. And a lot of y'all was asking me, well, a few of y'all was asking me, can I do a video where I do a few overrated teams and a few underrated teams, pretty much say how I think the offseason been, and just do their predictions. But let's go ahead and get started. One of the teams that I have that is really overrated, I'm gonna just break it down for y'all. This team had about like 4 wins last year, and they were in the draft. They traded up, got one of the best players, if not the best player in the entire draft. Got a new head coach, got rid of the old head coach, and people really think this team really about to go like 12-5 or something like that and have this big record. I'm looking at the number 1 seed, the Jaguars. The Jags, they all over the place for me. I don't think they're gonna be bad. I just don't think they're gonna be as good as people think they are, or say they are. And week 1 against the Jags, sorry, they are the Jags. I'm an idiot. Week 1 against the Panthers. That game could go either way. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the Jags though, cause they home. But if this was in Carolina, watch out, the Panthers could be sneaky competitive. Also, not to mention that I don't believe this Panthers believe in none of these defenses, so it's going to come down to whoever has the better offense. And I do think it will come down to it being Jacksonville. On the road in Cincinnati, I think you're going to lose this game. I don't think you got exactly what it takes to beat the Bengals. Next up, the Texans. It's in Jacksonville. I'm going to give you this win. On the road in San Francisco, I'm going to give you the loss. At home versus the Kansas City Chiefs, I think you're going to lose. At home versus the Seattle Seahawks, I think you're going to win. So you're 3-3. Not the worst start. It's a solid start. Rams, I'm going to give you the loss. This is where you kind of like get your little streak rolling. First you start off a little ugly. Loss. Win. Loss. So you 7-10. I thought I could squeeze in another win somewhere. But yeah, 7-10 is the record for the Jaguars. Another team that I think is really underrated. We're gonna go to the underrated side now. A team that I think is really underrated is the Indianapolis Colts. I think they got a lot of talent. Let's start off by splitting their first 4 games. Win, loss. Then you're going to win 3 of the next 4. I think you guys can already spot the loss. It's on the road, week 7 in LA. Win. So remember, it says this game will be at 4 p.m. Eastern time. They do Eastern time because a lot of people live on the eastern side. Versus the Steelers, the Colts have really beating the Steelers a lot these last few years. So I'm gonna get the closest win. Atlanta, I'm gonna give you the win. So you win three straight. You're gonna look a little ugly because you was 1, 2, 3, 4 straight. But then I think you win the final three to see your season. And Indy finished 10-7. I think that's realistic. They're extremely better than the Jaguars. I don't think the Jags are extremely it, but they overrated though. Moving on, another team that I think is really overrated is the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think they're really that good or as good as people think they are. Like, I see people saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl, and I don't quite frankly think that's in the conversation with how poor their defense played. I don't think their defense is going to be a whole lot better because you went out and signed the rookie Shamar Stewart, which was a tough time signing him, and I like that y'all did that. But y'all forgetting that the most important player on your defense, Trey Hendrickson, is not there anymore. You gotta sign that boy. He ain't there no more, so you gotta sign Hendrickson. And once you sign Hendrickson, you can kind of like see your season like revamping itself back up. But until now, I gotta be honest. My standards for the Bengals are extremely low. So I hope they prove me wrong because I want to see the Bengals in the playoffs. I want to see them in the playoffs, but they are extremely overrated right now. I think I got two more overrated teams, and then I got a few underrated teams. I already did one underrated, which was Indy. I said I got two more overrated teams, and underrated teams. I got two underrated teams, two more underrated teams, two overrated. Actually, I might have three underrated. I got three underrated teams, two overrated. So yeah, Bengals though, again, my standards for the Bengals are low. Hopefully they can prove me wrong, but I don't think the defense is going to do a whole lot. Bengals versus Browns. I think the Bengals will get this one. They're gonna beat the Jags. The Vikings. By this time, I think JJ McCarthy should really find his click. Against a really bad defense, I think you lose this game. Denver, though, I think you win this game. I think you lose to Detroit. I'll come back to this Green Bay game. In Cincinnati, I'm gonna give you the win. I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. But trust me, this is not gonna be easy. So you win three straight games, and then you go under the bye week. Whether with this loss, give it 7-2 or 6-3. Either way, you're still well above 500. And your bye week is week 10. Beautiful. Right in the middle of the schedule. You play half your games, you go into the bye week, and then you come out the bye week, you play the other half of your games. A beautiful time to have your bye week. But you'll lose coming straight out of the bye week. And then the Patriots, I think you're going to win this game. Baltimore, I think you could actually split. But if anybody was to sweep anybody, my money would be on Baltimore. So I think you win, and you win against Buffalo. But I think you kind of come stumbling back down to reality against the Ravens. Then this Dolphins game, I think another game that you might take a little too lightly, that you might lose. And at this point, you're 9-4. I definitely got you losing to the Browns because you tend to lose to them every year. So at this point, you're now 5-2. Now, I'm gonna get into the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals defense is definitely improved. I think every year we see some upset that's just really not supposed to happen, that it happens. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the Cardinals. Now the Dolphins, Miami Dolphins. This is the thing with the Miami Dolphins. Tua can never stay healthy. Tua's never healthy. So you now 6-2, and you got 2 games left. I'm gonna get this one right here to Green Bay, and I'm gonna get this one right here to the Packers. I'm sorry, to the Bengals. My only problem with the Packers is they seem to not be good teams, but if there's any good team you could beat, it's the Bengals because of how awful or poor their defense is. So 10-7 is the record. Now let's finish the AFC. This right here is the I am the underrated team. So I have 2 more underrated teams and 1 more overrated. Sorry, no, 2 underrated, 2 overrated. Sorry, still, because I ain't do that. Well, I had 3 overrated. The Raiders. I think you win this game. I think the Patriots starting off, I don't know exactly what you're going to get out of them. I think you win this game. But then this is when you kind of get a little bit ugly. You lose to Indy. If we finally get one over the Titans. Now, I will say this. You will lose to the Chiefs on the road. Come out the bye week, you get Jacksonville. I think you're going to still want to away from Denver. I'm going to get Denver this one right at 14 because I think by this time Denver should be able to be making their stride for the postseason. You will lose to Dallas. I think the Browns is too easy of an opponent for you to lose to. So you 5-7, and you kind of look like you really going to make some noise a little bit. I don't think that's going to happen. I realistically only see you at max getting 3 more wins, and you got 5 games left. At max, you getting 3 more wins at max. Now, I think you will win here because I think you will split. I think you will win here. But all the rest of these teams right there are either going to be pushing for the 1 seed or it's just going to be extremely better than you or trying to win a division. The Texans going to be trying to win a division. I think the Eagles is going to be trying to put the weight in a division because, Commanders last 2 to 3 weeks is tough. And then I think I will go ahead and give the Chiefs this one right here. I think they should be fighting for the number 1 seed. So right here, you're 7-10. I don't think that's bad. It's just not that good. And then let's go ahead and talk about the overrated teams. I got a couple more underrated teams, and I'm going to talk about the overrated. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the Packers. The Packers, to me, is a very underrated team. They're very underrated, and I know I put them overrated, but I feel like a lot of people have not talked about them since I did that. So, I don't know if it's just a reason to prove why I shouldn't put them in the video, but at the time I did put them in the video, I was seeing Packers news flying like out of everywhere. But I will say this though, I have not heard anything really much coming out from the Packers. They just played a preseason game the other day. It was not pretty at all. It was not pretty. I actually have you beating the Lions. Week 1, they lost both their coordinators. They're trying to put it together. I think they're going to struggle early on. But Thursday against the Commanders, I'm going to have you lose this game. I'm going to have you beat the Browns. I'm going to have you beat Dallas. I'm going to have you beat the Bengals. I'm going to have you beat the Cardinals. I'm going to have you lose to the Steelers in that Rodgers Bowl. I'm going to have you beat the Panthers, but barely beat the Panthers. You can't beat Philly. You're going to beat the Giants. I think you're going to split with Minnesota. I'm going to have Minnesota take the 18. I'm going to have you lose right here. I'm going to have you lose right here. I'm going to have you win right here. I'm going to have you win right here, and I'm going to have you lose right here. So that's going to give them a record of 10-7 and potentially making the playoffs for Green Bay. That's the team that I have that's underrated. The team that's overrated to me, that is extremely overrated right now, is Washington. I think Washington is really overrated right now. People think because of this, based off this 1 year, he's better than somebody like Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes. Slow your roll. He's not that good. A lot of his success came off of the team. I don't even think the Commanders sniffing the playoffs if they don't got a guy like Terry McLaurin. So for y'all to even not try to play him or pay him at all, I don't know what y'all gonna do this season about that. But guess what? I need to pay him, because if not, these standards for me is gonna be very low. Clock that. Now, week 1 against the Giants, I think you're gonna win. I think they're gonna start off a little too strong that they slip against the Chargers. You win here, lose here, you lose here, you win here, you win here, you win here. I think you win here, lose against Minnesota, beat the Giants, lose against Philly, beat the Cowboys, and win against Philly. So that gives you a record of 12-5. Now, I do think you could definitely lose to the Broncos. I'm gonna give you the loss to the Broncos, because I think you could definitely have a little loss to the Broncos somewhere. I can see you doing that. I can also see you losing to the Packers. I'm gonna give you an 11-6 record. I think they're gonna have some success, but if they don't pay Terry, I could easily see these predictions going under the roof. That's the overrated team for me. And I feel like maybe even Green Bay could sneak. Actually, I'm making Green Bay that win. I think Green Bay could sneak away a win. And you is going to be 10-7 and 4-2 the division. Of course, splits coming from Dallas and Philly. But that's gonna be it. That's going to be the overrated team. So I have one more underrated team and one more overrated team. The underrated team is the Arizona Cardinals. I think they are very, very underrated. People really sleep on this team. And let's get started. Win, a loss. A loss, a loss, a win, a loss, a loss. So look, I know I said they were overrated, underrated, but listen, you're going to start off a little bit slow. This is where you kind of get everything put back together. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. So you finish short of the postseason, but I think right here is enough for you to get some amount of respect. Because I see teams like really putting Arizona like really beneath the list, saying they about to be awful and everything. That's not about to happen. They're not going to be awful. But I do think they're going to miss the playoffs by a game. But in terms of overrated, my most overrated NFL team is the San Francisco 49ers. They lost so many pieces like Greenlaw, Hufanga, Ward. Now, I do think those pieces are going to hurt you to start off with. I think they're going to hurt you, because I think you're going to be winning, right? You're going to win, but to the point a team like LA is going to threaten it, and so will Tampa. LA and Tampa is going to threaten it to their advantage. So you start off 4-0, but then you go ahead and you lose 2, you 4-2, and then you're going to go ahead and beat the Falcons, lose to the Texans, beat the Giants, get your revenge on the Rams, lose here. You won't beat them, but I think this might be one of those type of games where Carolina might just test the Niners, test them, and they might win to an advantage. I think they're going to beat the Browns. You're going to beat the Titans. I think you're going to lose to the Bears and the Seahawks. So that's going to get you a record of 10-7. I don't think they're going to be making big noise in the NFC, but I think 10-7 might be enough to get you into the playoffs. But I see a lot of people thinking they're going to turn to that Super Bowl form, and I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And I think they're going to finish 10-7 this year, maybe 11-6 next year or so, maybe 12-5, maybe a division win loss. But in terms of going to the Super Bowl and actually winning it and being up there for that, contending for it, I don't think this is really going to happen anytime soon. So I think it might take about 3 more years for them to really be like as dominant as they was in 2023. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about these predictions. I knew y'all wanted this video real bad, so I gave it to y'all. And also, I knew y'all want to see this Buccaneers prediction. They're 2-0. So yeah, that's gonna be it.